When you think of the world's most beautiful beaches, Scotland probably isn't the first place that comes to mind. But what if I told you that some of Europe's most stunning stretches of coastline are hiding right here, tucked between ancient cliffs, wild headlands, and islands so remote they feel like the edge of the world? From powder white sands that rival the Caribbean to dramatic bays carved by thousands of years of Atlantic storms. These are Scotland's 10 best beaches, and trust me, number 1 is going to blow your mind. We start our countdown at number 10, and what a place to begin. Sandwood Bay in the far northwest Highlands of Sutherland is one of the most remote beaches in the whole of Britain. There are no roads here, no car parks, no ice cream vans. To reach this mile-long sweep of golden pink sand, you'll need to hike around 4.5 miles across wild open moorland from the nearest road. But that effort, totally worth it. Guarded by the towering Balankeil sea stack, a 200-foot pillar of ancient rock rising from the waves, Sandwood Bay feels like the edge of civilization. In fact, the nearest town is over an hour's drive away. The beach is owned by the John Muir Trust, and on most days you'll have this entire spectacular stretch of coast completely to yourself. If you're looking for raw, untouched, wild Scotland, this is it. At number 9, we head to the Outer Hebrides, to a beach that looks like it belongs on a tropical postcard. Bosta Beach on Great Bernera off the west coast of the Isle of Lewis is a gorgeous horseshoe-shaped cove with fine white sand and crystal clear water in shades of turquoise and emerald. What makes Bosta extra special is the carpet of macair, that uniquely Scottish coastal grassland, that blooms with wildflowers every summer, creating an explosion of colour right behind the beach. And here's a fascinating bonus. In 1993, a huge storm stripped away the sand and revealed the remains of an Iron Age village that had been buried for centuries. A reconstructed Iron Age house now sits near the beach, giving you a glimpse into life here over 2,000 years ago. Bosta is a place where natural beauty and ancient history collide in the most magical way. Number 8 takes us to the very top of mainland Scotland. Sango Sands at Durness sits right on the spectacular north coast, and it's a beach that packs serious drama. Rather than one long stretch, Sango is actually a series of small golden coves, separated by jagged rocky outcrops and natural arches, carved over millennia by the relentless power of the Atlantic. At low tide, the coves connect, and you can wander between them, discovering rock pools teeming with life. At high tide, the waves crash in with real force, putting on an incredible natural show. The beach sits right below the village of Durness, making it one of the more accessible beaches on our list. It's also a stop on the famous North Coast 500 driving route, so if you're doing that trip, and you absolutely should, make sure you pull over here, especially at sunset. The light on this beach is simply extraordinary. Number 7 is a hidden gem on one of Scotland's lesser-known islands. Kiloran Bay, on the Isle of Colonsay in the Inner Hebrides, is widely regarded as one of the finest beaches on Scotland's west coast. It's a broad, sweeping crescent of pale golden sand, backed by dunes and lush green hills, facing straight out into the open Atlantic. And because it faces west and catches the full force of Atlantic swells, Kiloran Bay gets some seriously impressive waves, making it a surprisingly good spot for surfing and bodyboarding. Colonsay itself is a tiny island, home to only around 130 people, and reaching it requires a ferry from Oban or Kennacrig. That remoteness means Kiloran Bay stays beautifully unspoiled. On a sunny day with the light dancing across that turquoise water, you could genuinely forget you're in Scotland. It's paradise, just with slightly cooler water. At number 6, we're in the heart of Assynt, one of the wildest and most dramatic landscapes in all of Scotland. Achmelvich Beach is a compact but absolutely perfect little bay of brilliant white sand and astonishingly blue water, tucked between rocky headlands on the west coast of Sutherland. Despite its small size, Achmelvich punches well above its weight. The sand here is so white and the water so clear and vivid that photos from this beach regularly go viral, with people refusing to believe it's actually Scotland. The bay is sheltered enough for swimming on calmer days, and the shallow water warms up surprisingly well in summer. There's a small campsite right behind the beach, making it ideal for a wild Scottish coastal camping trip. And the drive to get here, winding through the otherworldly landscape of Assynt with its ancient mountains and shimmering lochs, is an adventure in itself. Number 5 is a beach so beautiful it became a movie star. Camusdarach Beach, near the village of Morar on the west coast, was used as a filming location for the beloved 1983 movie Local Hero. And once you see it, you'll understand exactly why the filmmakers chose it. It's a sheltered crescent of pure white sand, lapped by clear, shallow waters that shimmer in shades of pale blue and green. But what truly sets Camusdarach apart is the view. From the beach, you look straight out across the Sea of the Hebrides to the dramatic silhouettes of the islands of Egg, Rum and Muck, each one with its own distinctive profile on the horizon. At sunset, those islands turn into dark, mysterious shapes against skies of orange and pink, creating one of the most photographed views in all of Scotland. The beach is reached by a short walk through a forest path from a small car park, which adds to that wonderful feeling of discovering a secret place. At number 4, we return to the Outer Hebrides, because the Isle of Harris has not one but several of the most jaw-dropping beaches on the planet. Traigh Mhor, which simply means big beach in Gaelic, is on the northwest coast of Harris, near the township of Scarista. And big, it certainly is. This is a vast, sweeping expanse of golden sand backed by the flower-rich Machair and overlooked by the rugged Harris Mountains. At low tide, the beach seems to stretch forever. The water here takes on colours you simply don't expect in Scotland, vivid turquoise and deep Caribbean blue on sunny days. And because Harris has a population of fewer than 2,000 people, you'll often find you have this enormous beach almost entirely to yourself. Standing here with the mountains behind you and that impossibly blue ocean stretching to the horizon feels genuinely spiritual. It's the kind of place that makes you stop and just breathe. Number 3 takes us to Scotland's east coast for something completely different. Lunan Bay in Angus is a majestic 2-mile sweep of rich red-gold sand framed by grassy dunes and low sandstone cliffs. And standing guard over it all on a crag at the north end are the atmospheric ruins of Red Castle, a medieval fortress dating back to the 12th century. It's a scene that looks like it belongs in a fantasy epic. Unlike many beaches on our list, Lunan Bay is within easy reach of Dundee and Aberdeen, yet it never feels crowded. The east coast location means the water can be bracingly cold, but the beach has become increasingly popular with surfers who come for the consistent swells that roll in from the North Sea. There's something wonderfully moody and cinematic about Lunan Bay, whether you visit on a blazing summer day or on a wild, windswept afternoon with storm clouds rolling overhead. Both are equally magnificent. At number 2, we head back to Durness because this corner of Scotland is truly blessed with extraordinary beaches. Balankeil Bay is just around the headland from Sango Sands, but it's a completely different experience. This is a huge, wide-open sweep of pristine white sand that stretches for over a mile, curving gently around to the dramatic headland of Faride Head. The water here is breathtakingly clear. On a calm day, you can see straight to the sandy bottom, and the colours are simply unreal. Walk to the far end toward Faride Head and you might spot dolphins playing offshore or, if you're really lucky, catch sight of puffins during the summer nesting season. Near the car park, you'll find the haunting ruins of the 17th century Balankeil Church and the quirky Balankeil Craft Village, a former Cold War radar station converted into artists' workshops. Balankeil somehow manages to be simultaneously one of Scotland's most beautiful, most peaceful and most fascinating beaches. And so we arrive at number 1. And honestly, was there ever any doubt? Luskentyre Beach on the Isle of Harris isn't just Scotland's best beach. It has been repeatedly voted one of the best beaches in the entire world. And when you see it, you'll understand why every single accolade is fully deserved. Luskentyre is a masterpiece of nature. An enormous expanse of flawless white sand, washed by water so turquoise and so clear that you have to keep reminding yourself you're looking at the Scottish Hebrides, not the Maldives. Behind the beach, the wild mountains of North Harris rise dramatically, their dark peaks providing the most spectacular backdrop imaginable. As the tide ebbs and flows, shallow channels of water create ever-changing patterns across the sand, each one catching the light differently, turning the beach into a living, breathing work of art. Whether under blue summer skies or brooding winter clouds, Luskentyre is extraordinary. It's a beach that stays with you long after you've left. A place that proves beyond any doubt that Scotland's coastline is among the most beautiful anywhere on earth. And there you have it, Scotland's 10 best beaches. From the wild remoteness of Sandwood Bay to the jaw-dropping perfection of Luskentyre, Scotland's coastline is truly world-class. And here's the best part. There are dozens more incredible beaches I couldn't even fit into this list. So whether you're planning a road trip along the North Coast 500, island hopping through the Hebrides, or just looking for a beautiful beach you've never heard of, Scotland has you covered. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss future videos. Drop a comment below and let me know. Which of these beaches would you most like to visit? Was your favourite on the list? Or if you've already been to any of them, I'd love to hear about your experience. See you next time.